I think the one big lesson that I have learned from the Nordic history is the importance of lifting from the bottom. So you need to get everybody needs to have a fair chance, and everybody needs to have access to the skills and understanding and meaning making that allows them to thrive and make the most out of their life for themselves and for others. And so this is really about empowerment. And you said the word first, and I return to it again and again, because I mean, empowerment is the is the key. And in that empowerment is the idea that things could be different, that there is hope, but it's also skills, and it's social skills, and it's collaboration, and it's also respecting the individual.
So it's a question of a shift in attitude, a shift in paradigm, actually. It's a shift in paradigm where I'm otherwise putting all the externals first, but it's not the externals that are driving the world. It's the inner world that's driving the external world. So I think that people have forgotten about this whole aspect of their own inner world. And when they feel empty and unhappy and distressed, they don't realize that it's not because of COVID, it's not because of lockdown, it's not because I can't socialize with everyone. It's because I haven't nurtured that inner being. And when something opens the door in here and I start a little exploration, it takes me far.
Is action, is one where you begin to see in your scope of power. What is your scope here, in terms of what you can actually do. And then to say, what can I do within those arenas? Like I talk often with parents. They say, well, I'm at home. I said, you work with children. You work with people in the community. I said, you have a lane that you clearly are in, that you can make some differences in. But it starts with me and figuring out, what is my locus of control? What are my resources? Who are the partners that I can gather with me in this process? All of us have that opportunity every single day. We do.
I love the observation, and I'm not sure who to attribute to, that justice is love in action. I don't think that quite captures the fullness of love, but it certainly captures a baseline idea that if we engage the world from a place of love with a commitment to the flourishing of all, and we see institutions that are systematically obstructing the flourishing of individuals and groups, we have a moral imperative to try to transform those institutions. And I think that brings the concept of power into this conversation as well. We have to recognize that, as Martin Luther King said, love without power is anemic. So I think those of us who share this love ethic have a responsibility to develop our leadership gifts and try to get in places where we have influence and even power to transform social institutions.
I think the notion of well-being is very important. It's understanding in a more rounded way what it is to be a human being, and to be a human being in relationship with others and with the wider creation or universe, or however you want to describe it. So I think that's very positive, and we need to be exploring it. One of the difficulties is that if we have a model or set of understandings that is limited, as all our understandings necessarily are, then it will skew the notion of well-being, when well-being is meant to be something that is global and complex. They have certain degrees of value, but if you see everything through that lens, you have to distort reality in order to use that lens. And well-being is something that's trying not to distort reality, but to improve reality in all its complexity. So I think it's something that we need to continue to think about and work at and engage with and develop, and not try to shrink down into something that fits with the models we currently have, but to understand that, on the contrary, understanding well-being and exploring it may help us to develop new models of thinking about things.
It could be well-being courses. It could be more therapy, more exercise. And so you got this whole range of different industries which we could see crop up, which are around sort of satisfying humans, but not so much in the material sense, but more in the psychological and physical sense. And from that, you could possibly see those kind of, if you could, the rise of these industries, you're quite likely to see that as something you could call industries of love.
And we've got to create multiple vocabularies and narratives to make all of this come together. Not in uniformity and one monoculture, one system, and you got to belong to it. No, let thousands of systems flourish with 2 or 3 qualities shared. The quality of giving, the quality of loving, the quality of sharing, the quality of oneness. And as long as that's there, that's the alternative.
Yeah.